Hi, you're going to take a look at the Samuel Institute today. Now, there is a single lockpick or crowbar requirement, so we're going to take lockpick. And I'm also going to take a pistol and some bullets. There is a combat option there. I'm going with this combination because I want to injure them, and it's if you take something like a hatchet, it's very easy, or rather too easy to kill rather than injure. But anyway, let's go. So when you first get there, you're faced with this pile here, which there's no point digging it because you can just climb over. And interestingly, this disappears if you visit the location in the future. And then you've got this pile here, and you've got a bunch of piles here as well, half of which are stealing there all around here. The lockpick or crowbar requirement is right there. Now, you've got two guys down here. Now, they will get aggressive if you do one of two things, and that is come into their kind of territory, which is going through this door. I think it's this door or this one, I'm not sure. But the other one is if they see you stealing. If they see you stealing, they will aggro. Now, if they aggro and they chase you out and you come back, they stay aggroed in the future on future visits. So also bear that in mind. So you got a bunch of things you can do. You can just run around, steal, and make sure they don't see you. And also, there are a bunch of other things, a bunch of piles which are not stealing, and they'll leave you alone if you leave them alone. Or you can injure them or kill them, of course. Now, I've done this with multiple characters, and one of these will come out in a minute. I've done this with multiple characters, and it doesn't seem to be much any morale difference between killing them, just going to arm up, between killing them, injuring them, or stealing, which seems odd. But anyway, we're just going to injure them just because there are a few things back here that we can only have a look at if we either injure or kill them. Now, the two guys always start here having a chat, and about this time one of them comes out. Now, he's either going to come up the ladder or up the stairs here. Let's see which one he does. Okay, up the ladder. And with a pistol, you just pop him twice, and then he's injured. And that brings the other one, he'll come up the ladder as well. So the only problem with trying that with a hatchet or a shotgun is you end up usually killing one of them. So I just wanted to injure him. Anyway, if he doesn't go up the ladder and he climbs up the stairs, you just pop him here a couple of times, and he'll stop his aggro, stay down here. Now the second one will then come running, and he will go up the ladder, and all you'd have to do is position yourself here, and then you can do exactly what we just did. Anyway, the only reason to injure them this time out was just so they don't aggro. And all it does for you is give you access to these two piles at the back here, one of which always has 2 diamonds here. So it seems to be pretty consistent and always having 2 diamonds, and then this pile as well. As mentioned, if you come into this area, they will tell you to get out, or they will aggro, but it doesn't seem doesn't seem to be worth it to try and get into there. So that's basically it. If you leave them alone, if you stay out of their territory and they don't see you stealing, you can run around and steal everything. There's another steel pile there and another normal pile there. But if you don't want to steal, this is probably the best, this is probably why you want to come. That is, this one always has 4 meds. And usually has 3 of these. I haven't seen this before, so it can vary. This is a bonus. But usually it has 4 meds. So you come in here, you got a door to force here, another steel pile here. And you come up here, another steel pile there, and this is your lockpick or crowbar requirement. Behind there, there's another steel pile and 2 non-steel piles there. But as mentioned, this is the valuable pile, one with the meds in. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll consolidate everything into this one pile here. I'll consolidate all of the stolen items into this pile here, and I'll go around and pick up all of the non-stealing items and consolidate them into a different pile. And we'll have a look at what the total loot pile from this place will tend to look like. So Marco's just got back. Now, the morale situation before he went out and injured those guys and stole from the Samuel Institute was that Katya was, she was content, but she's no longer content. Now that can just be normal. Marin was normal, and so there's no morale impact from what we just did. And interestingly, if we killed them, there would also be no morale impact. So I'm not entirely sure if that location is working as intended. But if we have a quick look at the BIOS, I know it was us or them, still I feel bad about it. That doesn't change much if you kill them. Have we become brutal thugs? That doesn't change much. So there are negative comments in the BIOS, but other than Katya going from content to normal, there appears to be no morale cost. Hurting others rock, now we become bandits. Can't be managed without hurting others. Now, if we just stole and did not hurt them, the comments in the bio would also be negative, but they wouldn't refer to hurting others. It would just be, do we need to be stealing from others, etc. But again, there would be no morale drop with any of the characters. Now, I've also done this with Katya. When Katya gets back, she tends to be sad, depending on whether she killed them, injured them, or just stole. So it does seem to depend on character, but whatever you do, the morale cost doesn't seem to be great, or it doesn't seem to be a big morale cost. And also, it's not one of those locations where you go back and it compounds. So, for example, if we go back again now and steal more, there will be no more comments in the BIOS. About stealing or doing anything other than what we did on the first night, and zero morale impact. So it's not the same as places like, for example, the pharmacy, where you go back, you get a compounding morale hit every time you go back there, whether you steal or not. If you stole the first time in the pharmacy, then you get hit on the second visit, hit on the third visit, and so on. Not so in Samuel Institute. You only get one morale hit, and it seems to be very mild. But anyway, let's just go back and have a look at the total loot that you can get from there. So here we are back the following day, and as mentioned, this pile here has just disappeared, so we didn't need to dig it. Now we've consolidated everything here, so I think guys are still around. Let's just go check. So we did injure them last time, and they remain non-aggressive. Still saying I've had enough, etc. So they stay that way. As mentioned, if they do get aggressive and chase you out, they stay aggressive, so that if you came back, they would attack you on sight. But anyway, we've consolidated everything stolen into this pile and everything non-stolen into this pile. So firstly, this one. Now, the loot table can vary, but this run we had... This seems to be quite consistent, the 2 cans of food. And some other food as well. Various other items. Few other bits and pieces. So this includes the items from downstairs, including the 2 diamonds, which you may not have access to if you haven't injured or killed them. So really not a huge amount in the stolen pile. I guess the gun is of some value. You've got these 2 here, diamonds and the food. And in the non-stolen pile, items you could just run around and pick up without the guys minding. So more valuable, I'd say, because you've got the 4 meds, various other miscellaneous items. So that's it from the Samuel Institute, so hopefully that was interesting, and thanks for watching. Bye.